emotions so incredibly well. Honestly, I don't know how she does it, and for her, that's going to be the key today.
Yeah, she's shown she can be super cool on the big stages. Well, here is a big stage. It's Rod Laver Arena. It's the first of the women's quarterfinals. Jelena Ostapenko serving first.
Love 15.
In that Wimbledon final, she just really overcame Ons Jabeur. Fabulous serving to help her on the way to that sole title.
I think one thing we're going to see from both players today, of the returns, they will try to aim hard in the middle of the court, just not to give anything to the opponents to have a chance to swing at the ball, because they both time it so beautifully.
she didn't like that.
Really?
She tends to look towards her coaching corner as if they're going to overrule the electronic line call.
You know, it's so funny because we just came off court with Aga Radwanska, and we're saying, oh, this is so nice to have these line calls electronically called these days. You know, you don't have to question anything. You just go about your business. And yet you find Ostapenko questioning it.
Maybe she needs to, sort of feeds her almost.
Fold.
That is so true, though. You have players that they need constantly to fight with something throughout their match to have them play their best tennis, and now suddenly they're, in Ostapenko case, taking that away from her.
She was quite honest about it, wasn't she? I asked on her on-court interview after the Goff match, it looks as if you don't quite believe in the electronic line calling, Jelena. And she said, do you want my honest answer? No, not really. Game points.
40-30.
Always a need to settle those nerves, no matter what the stage, the occasion, the start of a match in that first service game. Get it tucked away. Not quite yet.
And it's that return hard in the middle of the court.
Yes.
That will then give a chance for Rybakina to open it up with her second shot. That will be an obvious tactic today from her.
Fold.
That look, it's withering.
That's a beauty. Anything about her shoulder level
Advantage.
hits it better than anyone out there. Rybakina. It's that simple action left wrist that she uses so well on the backhand.
A clean strike for a break point. Well, how big could this be? Ostapenko broken in her first service game, and it's the Wimbledon champion.
First game.
Leading by a game to love.
That was a very smart return as well, the slice forehand. Something to mix up things against Ostapenko. So still in the middle of the court, which she absolutely doesn't like, because she hits the ball so far away from her body, Ostapenko, that she prefers it when it's more in the corners.
Well, it's a little early stumble for Ostapenko. So let's see how she reacts to this. Dropped just one set on her way
Elena
through to
Rybakina
this quarter-final. That was in her second round match against Anna Bondar. A game that lasted over 2.5 hours, the longest time she's spent on court in any one match of this tournament so far. Well, we know what a weapon that first serve can be
Yeah, Rybakina already hitting 24 aces this tournament. Ostapenko 14, still a good number, but that's where Rybakina definitely has the edge.
Fold.
Got to be strong on the return.
15 all.
It's hard to find anyone else that hits the return better than these two girls, especially of the second serve. Yeah, again, such a smart
30-15.
serve. Went to Ostapenko body backhand, not giving her any space to hit her grand stroke.
Could be quite a lot of short points in this game if Rybakina continues to serve.
On her serve, for sure.
Well, there you go. A way to set up a couple of game points to consolidate this early break.
40-15. Game
It is the hold, and Rybakina backs up that break.
Rybakina leads by
Leads two games to love. So an early advantage. It's so important that she backed up that break with some really wonderful serving.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful, pure, simple action. One of the most important keys to have a good service. Make it as simple as possible how you get to the hitting point. That's what she does extremely well.
Such an important service game now for Ostapenko.
Oh, there's Eva Maioli as well, another legend playing this week.
Everywhere you look around Melbourne Park.
Out.
30-11.
Yeah, she missed that one, Rybakina, but I think Ostapenko will have to mix up the second serve a little bit more, because if she gets too predictable, so Rybakina will take advantage of it big time.
Oh, nice use of the drop shot. Showing a willingness to mix things up, not all about the outright blasting power.
Yeah, she does have a beautiful touch, and obviously all the doubles matches she's played in the past has helped her to become even more creative at the net.
This first quarter-final, the winner will play either Jessica Pegula, who's the top-ranked player left in the draw, the third seed, or two-time former Australian Open champion Victoria Azarenka. They play on Rod Laver Arena. First match of the night session. Fabulous lineup on this court today. And the men's quarterfinals getting underway as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, any seat, please sit down. Players are ready, we are waiting.
Fold. Out.
15-11.
She knows she's got to do better on a second serve in particular.
You just gotta love her expressions afterwards. Everyone in the stadium knows how she feels. But yeah, she has to cut down on the unforced errors, on the returns, rushing it a little bit too much at the beginning of this match.
30-11.
It's been a quick start. 10 minutes and already fourth game.
Something to do with the Rybakina serve.
Yep.
Fold.
Cool. First real meaty point.
It is that backhand that's worked so well throughout this tournament.
40-love.
Whenever she gets a short ball on it, she will dominate the rally. The forehand one was the easy part. Such easy power too.
Game Rybakina.
Oh, Ostapenko does not know what to do. She's
Rybakina
also
leads by 3
querying
games to 1.
again. Yeah, close is good enough.
You think that her team would tell her at some point, like, you know, it works for everyone else.
Well, she has an air sometimes of the sort of pantomime about her. She was actually asked after the Goff match if, you know, the game needed more demonstrative type players on court like her. She was laughing at that and thinking, well, if the fans seem to like it. Not sure how much her opponents like it, however.
I would say it's more the stubbornness. You know, you're so convinced about something, and as a tennis player, we are all stubborn. And it's a good thing when it helps you, say, you know, getting through matches that no one else believes you still can. But then there is a point where you just gotta let go and compromise and understand that not everything you think it's the right way.
Well, this is great precision up the line with the backhand.
Yeah.
The drop shot worked for her
30-15.
previously. Won't work every time. Reaching the quarterfinals here, it's her best result since reaching the Wimbledon semi-final in 2018 in a slam. Oh, wow, not sure how she got that.
She's timing the ball beautifully, Rybakina, this first 4 games of this match, because that was a good serve, but even a better return.
Yeah.
Well, the returning
30-40.
causing Ostapenko some problems. It's all down to Rybakina. Break point again. It's for a double break.
Yeah, that was an excellent serve out wide, but Rybakina.
Some rain, Daniela. There was a sprinkling right at the start of the day, which caused the roof to be closed for the doubles match. Been held out on court so far.
And interestingly there, Rybakina is practicing a lot of returns against Ostapenko to the side.
A double breakdown in the opening set to the reigning Wimbledon champion.
That was smart. That was a very slow first serve on the 110. But Ostapenko just wanted to make sure she puts it in. I think it surprised Rybakina a little bit.
Fold. Yeah.
Break points once again then for Rybakina.
Rybakina.
All back on the Ostapenko serve. Rybakina in this first set. Short points on her service game so far. She won't be quibbling with the line that time.
Smart return from Ostapenko. Slice forehand. A wonderful depth on it. And even a better finish right here. But Rybakina has to be careful here a little bit because she was so focused on that return game in the previous game after the delay that, you know, in the gym we saw her practicing the return routine, but serve might be something she would be struggling with because she wouldn't have thought about it as much.
Yeah, she's putting everything into getting that double break.
Yep.
Out.
Needs to get herself back in here.
15-30.
Fault.
Yeah, real depth on the return of that second serve from Ostapenko. Brings up break points.
Yeah, it's more for serves here, Rybakina.
The danger that Rybakina poses when she does get a break early in a set within the first 4 games. She duly does have an advantage, but now for Ostapenko to get one of these breaks back.
Out.
30-40.
Just wanting to check and just get clarification from the coaching team. Still break point. Well, what a serve that was on break point.
Great angle too. Use 172. She can definitely hit it harder, but she's able to open it up with that beautiful height so well out wide, both ends.
A little extra power to push it out wide.
Fault.
Advantage, Rybakina.
And we're still going on, questioning the calls.
She's trying to ascertain from them how far out it was, because she can then see on the close call replay there. That comes on the big screen that she can see in the arena.
And she doesn't trust that neither.
Fault.
Well, you haven't been a double fault yet from Rybakina. She has got the cushion of the double break. But she'll just want to keep all this momentum going. Oh, that's a poor miss from Ostapenko.
Yeah, she can do much
Rybakina.
better. Being such an experienced doubles player. So going back to the double fault, Rybakina only 7 so far in the tournament, which is quite impressive. But she needs a couple first serves to get the rhythm back.
Yep, he wasn't going to make a mistake there.
Rybakina.
Does hold serve, does take it to 5-1, and Ostapenko
Rybakina
has
leads
to serve
by
to
5 games to 1.
stay in this opening set. We haven't yet had half an hour of play, Jill.
Well, we were talking about the conditions a little bit, and even when I said it was cooler when the roof had just been closed a couple minutes, it's even gotten a little cooler than that. So the air conditioning has kicked in even more. It's still very comfortable, but I'm wondering if it's going to give Ostapenko a little bit, maybe time to connect on some more returns. We'll see, but that was good for Rybakina to get out of that game.
It's the first time that Rybakina had faced break points in this match so far. She's just so in control at the moment.
Yeah, but Jill makes such a good point there. The conditions being cooler, a little bit slower, that normally should favor Ostapenko. When you look at it, Ostapenko winning in Roland Garros, Rybakina on grass. Rybakina wants the fast, quick conditions. One of very few unforced errors in this first set from Rybakina. It's been pure excellence.
It's tremendous. Real accuracy up the tee.
30-15. Led for serve.
It's a big second serve, and that's how good it has to be.
40,
Also good change up to Rybakina forehand.
Still, she can come up with winners like that.
And that is the shot she's improved so much
40-30.
over the last couple of weeks, I would say. We always knew she can do this on the backhand side, but now on a full stretch, she's able to come up with winners on the forehand swing as well.
Deuce.
Nearly twice as many winners as Ostapenko.
We should start counting how many times she's going to question this.
Well, that one was a very tight one. 1 millimeter, being told.
But why would you waste even an energy to think about it?
Advantage, Ostapenko.
Rybakina wholly accepting of the electronic line call. No question or worry about it.
Game Ostapenko.
Well, needed that. Needs to try and halt that Rybakina momentum. But it is the Wimbledon champion leading 5 games.
Has been so
quickly,
clear so
please.
far. Look at
Thank
the
you, ladies
difference
and
in the
gentlemen.
average of speed in the first serve. 184 for Rybakina, Ostapenko 160. That's huge.
And now serving for the first set.
She keeps going with it. With the new balls, the slice out wide, it's normally the obvious choice.
That serve was 185, the fastest so far. 190 from Rybakina.
Fault.
reason to opt for the slicer with the new balls is you just gain that little tiny extra control. It's so hard to hit a good flat serve with the new balls and keep the same accuracy. So slice is always a good option. Well, not when you have a serve like Rybakina.
There is so little you can do. 3 set points in the blink of an eye.
And 189 on that serve. Whoa, that's huge.
Fault. Fault.
Well, maybe there's a little bit of tension on set points.
Well, it's a good time if you have to make a double fault. This is the score you want to do it.
Another couple of chances.
Yep. Coach doesn't seem to be bothered.
Let for serve.
Fault.
It's the first set.
Game and for set.
In just a little over half an hour. Rybakina racing
By 6 games
away with it, 6 games to 2. I think maybe we expected a little more of a tighter contest throughout this opening set so far. Win Predictor did heavily favour at the start of this match. And let's have a look at the figures. A lot of winners for Rybakina.
Honestly, there's not much that Ostapenko could have done better when you have Rybakina playing as well as she.
From the 22nd seed, but the reigning Wimbledon champion, Elena Rybakina,
Second set.
Kazakhstan, and now
Ostapenko.
Ostapenko is really up against it, having to come from behind.
Well, even though she won that point, I'm still surprised Ostapenko keeps going with her serve to Rybakina's backhand. I would expect her at the beginning of the second set just to mix it up big time. Just focus on 80% of the time looking to attack Rybakina's forehand. And yes, she might get some winners from that swing, but the chances of some unforced errors from Rybakina forehand are much higher than from her backhand side. She's not going to miss much there. Yeah, that's better.
I remember it was the very first game of the match. Ostapenko's serve was broken. To start this set positively.
Because next time she goes out wide, she might get a winner from Rybakina, but she might get balls like this as well. Where from the backhand we know what's coming.
Fault.
It's almost better to risk to make a double fault,
40-50.
going for the slice second serve, which is obviously the one she feels less comfortable with, than just kicking it to the backhand. That's what Rybakina wants all day long.
Let for serve. Let.
Well, the crowd didn't hear to start with.
We've heard it.
Ostapenko, yeah, I heard it too. Ostapenko certainly hadn't.
Is she going to question that as well? No, no reaction, just a little look. Getting better.
Fault.
She's got the game that time.
There it goes.
First game, second set.
Well, there's got to be a bit of relief as well just to get that first game on the board. Start afresh, new set. She's got to believe that she can level things and get this quarterfinal into a decider.
Yeah, I agree, especially what Daniela said about going to the forehand side. It's much more effective. Even when she's able to hit it cleanly, it just doesn't have the pace on the forehand side that it does on the backhand. So it gives Ostapenko more opportunities to take that first strike on that ball right away. And that was much better serving. I think after you mentioned something, Daniela, she went to the forehand almost every single time. It was much smarter.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Jill. It's the only way to change this match around. And you have to accept that there's going to be some big winners coming from Rybakina forehand, but at the same time, the chances of those unforced errors are much, much higher than on the backhand side.
Fault.
Well, that's something of a rarity for Ostapenko to win a point on the Rybakina serve.
Well, this is her favorite return, the forehand up the line. I still find it amazing every single time that she hits it so well with that big swing. Her timing on the ball is quite exceptional for Ostapenko, because like I said, she hits it so far away from her body. And with the big takeaway back, it's not easy to time it as well as she does.
Prior to this game, Rybakina had not lost a point on first serve. Right up that line. Not much you can do about that, Elena. She doesn't like the 1 millimeter
Is there such
calls.
thing to get a warning because you question something? I mean, it's frustrating, but it's still in.
Still in. I mean, it's as close as it gets, but it's still in. Wow, we haven't seen that yet. Jill, did you feel the full force of the roar?
I mean, this is entertaining, I have to say, from the looks and then the roar. I mean, this is pretty fun to be this close, but yeah, I mean, she finally got some time on that ball, and those two forehands, she's got to take that risk, and she did a great job going after that one.
Break points, Ostapenko.
Fault.
Yeah, that's how well it has to be from Rybakina, because one thing we must not forget is that Ostapenko has played exceptionally great in the first week, and there's no way that that disappears from you. So at some point she will turn it on, and that's where Rybakina just has to stay solid, not to drop too many balls short, because Ostapenko will be all over it.
She's got the break early in this second set. The fight back's on for Ostapenko.
Ostapenko leads by 2 games to 0.
Yeah, that's the beauty, like I said, of having played so many matches here already in Melbourne. That even though you're down after the first set, you kind of start reminding yourself how well you've played in the first week and what you need to do to change things around. That's what Ostapenko is doing right now.
Wow, that's a cracking return.
Love 15.
Short, acute angle.
That's where Ostapenko just has to go too good. Let's see if you can do it on the next one.
Fault.
Much more intensity the last couple of minutes from Ostapenko. Much more conviction too.
Fault. Yeah.
15-30.
Big point now for Ostapenko, having got that early break. Needs to stick in here with her serve.
There has to be always something. Whether it's the line call or the light.
Maybe it's something about it being out of your control, but she very much was in control of playing this shot. Well, break back points.
Yeah.
30-40.
Just stopped her footwork a little bit, Rybakina, in the last two games. Not as much urgency in her feet as at the beginning of this match.
A chance to level at 2 games apiece here.
I think so many times questioning Ostapenko the line calls is just the frustration of how well Rybakina is playing, and even though she was break up, now she kind of gave all the momentum back to her opponent once again.
Yeah.
15 on.
Just has to find a way, Ostapenko, how to make the rallies a little bit longer. It's been such a quick match, except the rain break. Not too many long rallies. That's where I feel like Ostapenko will have a better chance. Not much you can do with serves like this.
30-15.
Starting to clock up those aces.
Fault.
Yeah, much better. The longer the better for Ostapenko.
30-all.
Because as well as Rybakina is playing at the moment, it's hard for her to do that when the rally gets longer than 5-6 shots.
Ostapenko's got to try and push this door open, get another break. Does earn a break point. She's still fighting and believing.
Yeah, great pressure there from Ostapenko. Rybakina knowing that she needs first serves desperately, because this is what happens when she plays with a second serve.
Oh, great play. Saving break point to find ball striking.
Especially on that first forehand, because there was an excellent return from Ostapenko. But even better response from Rybakina. That pure technique. Wonderful follow through.
Yeah. Thankfully it didn't hit. There's another chance.
Advantage.
Good pressure there from Ostapenko. Questioning that forehand.
Sorry, Daniela. Ostapenko's definitely upped the pace on the last few forehands and these last few points. She's really striking through the ball, better acceleration.
Yeah, 100%.
Fault.
Yeah, he's disappointed with that one.
Hard lines, isn't it? Missing a second opportunity.
Just mistimed it a little bit. Not too much she did wrong, technically.
You could probably do a whole montage just on the Ostapenko facial expressions.
Fault.
Oh, yes. Got to make the most of this one, though.
It's excellent.
Advantage.
Not only the
Ostapenko.
pace, but the angle she was able to find here. Ostapenko with the return. Taking Rybakina completely off the court. Still a tough shot to make.
Yeah, opened up beautifully for the backhand, but she
Yep.
made it. Break point again.
Fault.
Oh, great point. Under pressure. Rybakina comes up with the goods.
That is just unbelievable touch from Rybakina. Something we don't talk enough in Rybakina's game, how well she hits her volleys, just like everything else in her game. I mean, look how easy she makes it look. But this was a volley that even Roger would be proud of making.
It's weighted perfectly.
Yeah, that's a smart return there. Different look to Rybakina.
Advantage.
Slicing the forehand.
Ostapenko.
this would be the third break of serve in a row.
Yes.
Yet again, question asked and replied duly delivered.
Talking about the montage of face expressions, we couldn't have a... That's a classic.
I think it's almost like she knows it's part of the routine.
Yeah, sometimes players, their routine is to look at the strings between the points. She questions the points, no matter how close or far out they are. But we couldn't have more of a contrast in players' personality and expressions from Rybakina. Almost nothing, and on the other side of the court, well, she makes up for Rybakina as well.
Game,
Well,
Rybakina.
more than 7 minutes to hold serve, and yes, Ostapenko, it's another close call.
2 games.
I mean, this is just pure frustration from Ostapenko. This has nothing to do.
I almost feel that's maybe how she's handling her nerves, is questioning the calls, because that one was clearly pretty far out. You could see it, but I don't know if that's because players handle their nerves. Everyone handles them differently, and I almost feel like maybe she just has to make an expression.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone, blames the coaches, the strings, sometimes the T-shirts, and she takes the line calls on board.
She's making that connection with the coach's box, isn't it? Pretty dispiriting. She had 4 break points in that service hold of Rybakina. Good aggression.
It was wonderfully structured point by Ostapenko, because Rybakina was putting a lot of pressure, but this forehand was excellent. Again, had much more on it. That's how well she has to play at this stage of the second set.
Fault.
15,
Afraid so.
No, it's just pure reaction to the frustration.
You really can't take your eyes off of it. It almost just does allow Rybakina to just do her thing at the other end of the court.
Well, that's what Rybakina has been always so good, just focusing on what she has to do, being super calm in between the points, one of her biggest strengths. And even if she's stressed on the inside, she's just very respectful to everyone around.
Big moment for the match, this. Rybakina already a set up. And Rybakina does go a set up for the first time in the second set. The break-up. She was a breaker and she had break point for a double break. She duly came out and managed to convert, went on to win that opening set. After a break of serve, both sides. Rybakina has now got her nose in front with another. The reigning Wimbledon champion just needs to continue doing what she's been doing. And serve has really been a strength.
15 love.
Just like that.
Such a wonderful timing on it because of that simple take back. It doesn't matter how you get there, but what you do when you're just about to hit the ball on the serve. That's the most important part of the motion.
Yeah.
And people have different ways how to get up to the hitting point, and it's about spending as less energy as possible before you hit the ball, because that's where you want to generate all the power. The simple, the better. Just like that.
Such a graceful, effective motion.
And she uses her height beautifully to create those angles. It's the height combined with the wrist action at the end of the stroke.
Yeah, fully 6 foot tall. Rybakina.
Fold. Fold.
Again, a double fault,
40,
being 40 love up, just like on the other game. And it's a good message across the net because it shows your opponent, look, I'm going for my second serves much more because that's how confident I am with the score. So it's almost, in a way, it's a positive double fault. If you make one when you're 40-30, that's tightness, that's being stressed. But if you go for your second serve at 40 love, it's a good message across the net that you're trying to do something extra because you can.
Game.
That's a fabulous way of closing it out. At 40-30. Can't do much about that. And it's Rybakina backing up the break, leading 4-2 and by a set to love.
Can she get like a warning of questioning too many calls? There should be such a thing, surely.
She almost sort of doesn't direct them at the umpire in any way, does she? She's just...
Yeah, she's doing a good job staying away from that, because I think otherwise she would be in trouble by now. I mean, there's been more than in her previous matches.
Feels like it. It feels like it's part of the theatre that she needs to create for herself.
But it's getting worse and worse, and she's got to be careful.
15 love.
Nothing to take away from this forehand, though. Such a pure strike. Rybakina would love to get another break here, just to have that cushion when serving for the match.
Mentioned this is her 8th appearance in the Australian Open, and until this year, never having got past the round of 32.
Fold.
But she'd had a tough time of it in the year of 2020. She didn't make it past the second round then, but more pressure now. In that year of 2020, her father died shortly before the Australian Open. In fact, Aryna Sabalenka's father died that same year. The two of them found themselves consoling each other at one point. It's quite a sad story because her father drove her to the airport to take a flight to Auckland for the first tournament of the year. And then she got news that he had died before that tournament started. She did fly back to this part of the world and took part in the Australian Open that year, but didn't make it past the second round. But she's always known her father's watching her. And here made it through to the quarters for the first time.
Fault.
Gotta believe she's still in it.
And that's a good change up there with the second serve of Ostapenko. Going to the forehand side of Rybakina.
Oh, that's a great recovery to hold serve. It's the least she can do at this moment, but somehow she's got to get past.
Such a wonderful depth on that forehand from Rybakina. It's just wasting energy.
I always wonder if she's sort of playing to the ball being out rather than just playing the ball and worrying about it later.
Yeah, exactly. She's not helping herself. She's hoping for the balls to be out and then she stops hitting them.
30-11.
It just seems to be a very, very clear mind inside the head of Elena Rybakina.
Fault.
One of her biggest strengths, Rybakina. Clear with her, in her mind with her tactics and calm with her emotions.
It's quite a devastating combination, that.
Yeah, and going back to that Wimbledon final, I mean, how she dealt with that pressure, it was just incredible.
Fault.
So 5-3, Rybakina.
New balls, please.
She's moving towards a place in the semi-finals. Leading 5-3 and by a set to love.
5 games to 3.
Well, if Ostapenko is not thinking about the line calls as much here, and with the new balls, surely she will try to hit a couple of body serves as well. She hasn't used that tactic at all today. And Rybakina timing the ball as well as she is, definitely be a good option right now. Just change something up. With the lights on and the roof on, feels more of a night session than a day. It's hard to tell.
It does, and the sort of tension around Ostapenko's game makes it, you can sense the occasion, the enormity of it. Chance to make a semi-final of the Australian Open for the first time for both of these players.
Such a smart shot from Rybakina. Once again, talking about clear mind with her tactics, going hard to the middle of Ostapenko, forcing her to come up with shots that wasn't there to be hit. Yeah, excellent. From both players.
30-15.
Oh, it's such a good combination from Ostapenko. She's won many points when she's been able to take that forehand angle off the court and then taking it up to the backhand. It's a good pattern for her.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing when the return comes so flat.
Out.
40-15.
Chance to hold here and force Rybakina to come out and serve for the match.
Fault. Out.
Again, Ostapenko.
Well, another hold for Ostapenko, but the reigning Wimbledon champion will come out to serve for the match. She leads 5-4 and by a set to love. Yes, that's why she's made these quarterfinals. She dispatched Coco Gauff in straight sets. But now, 22nd seed, Elena Rybakina, could well be ranked a lot higher than that because she's the reigning Wimbledon champion, serving here for the match.
Fault.
Oh, too much.
Love 15.
Again, Rybakina just attacking the middle of the court. Got a little bit unlucky here.
It's probably about as animated as we've seen the
He's
Rybakina
more
corner.
stressful than Rybakina.
Fault.
I mean, she does so well to deal with it though, because that doesn't help when you look at your coach. You just miss the first point of probably the most important service game for you in Australian Open after net call and you get reaction like that. I don't think I would deal with it as good.
Just a couple of points away.
Now he's
out.
happy. Oh, that's an excellent backhand from Ostapenko. Once again, opening up the court so beautifully. So much power on the shot, but at the same time, being able to find that angle.
Well, it's the challenge of closing out an important match, and Ostapenko has got to be dialed right in to this moment. She's got to get past Rybakina's serve.
I mean, that's huge. Given the occasion, to come up with a serve like this.
That feels very fitting from what we've seen from Rybakina throughout this match. And her first match point for place in the semi-finals.
Fault.
Well, well played. Ostapenko. All sorts was happening.
Well, we've seen a lot of drama in between the points with Ostapenko. Well, she surely gave us some on that backhand drive volley.
Oh, yes, it got over. That's another one for the montage.
Yes, still manages to give us those emotions.
And well put away. Saves match point.
Led to a serve.
I don't think Ostapenko would be very good at poker, would she?
That's a very good point you make. Yet again, comes up with an ace. Pressure moment, match point number 2.
Advantage, Rybakina.
Oh, this match is not finishing anytime soon.
Saving the best for last. So Rybakina has to expect Ostapenko now to swing at her shots big time. She's got nothing to lose anymore. She knows she's very close of losing, so no fear.
Oh, credit to Ostapenko for that one.
Yeah, surely this one will go to Ostapenko forehand.
Advantage, Rybakina.
Coaching team is staying on their feet. Are they going to sit down? Eventually they've settled. Collected and into the semi-finals. 6-2, 6-4. The Wimbledon champion into a semi-final at the Australian Open for the first time. She was barely ruffled.
What fascinating performance from Rybakina. That was a rather cold handshake there from Ostapenko once again. Yeah, but nothing to take away from how well Rybakina